It's easy to forget that beneath the sunlit surface of our planet, there's a massive, restless force shaping the climate in ways most of us never see. The ocean isn't just a backdrop to Earth's weather. It's the hidden engine regulating temperature, storing heat, moving energy, and cycling life's ingredients. How exactly does water, wind, and an endless expanse of salt drive the balance of our climate system? Let's explore this mystery and start with a striking line about the sea from a legendary poem. And the sea will grant each man new hope, as sleep brings dreams of home. The Odyssey, Book 12. This verse captures so much more than just poetry. It hints at the ocean's strange power to renew, to moderate, and to offer a kind of stability against chaos. In the context of Earth's climate, the sea is not simply a boundary, but a buffer, absorbing energy, smoothing extremes, and quietly powering the conditions that make life possible. The first way the ocean does this is deceptively simple, but incredibly powerful. Water stores heat. Think of a cool breeze when you stand beside the shore on a hot day. The ocean acts as the planet's vast thermal reservoir, absorbing massive amounts of solar energy during daylight hours and summer months. This stored heat doesn't disappear. It's gradually released back into the atmosphere, especially when the air cools. Because water holds onto heat better than air or land, the ocean stops temperatures from swinging wildly between day and night or season to season. That's why island and coastal climates are milder and more stable than the hollowing extremes found deep inland. The story, though, isn't just about warmth stored at the surface. Some of that heat travels deep below, driven by ocean currents, enormous rivers of water moving through the sea. These currents act a bit like a planet-sized conveyor belt, distributing energy and balancing out regional climates. Let's reflect for a moment on what that means. Now imagine our world without this system. Without the ocean carrying warmth from the tropics toward the poles, the contrast between equator and pole would be much sharper. Hot regions would grow hotter, icy regions would freeze even more. Life, human, plant, animal, would have to survive in far more hostile conditions. That stable, habitable band we call home might shrink beyond recognition. A different passage from a speech about the sea reminds us, we are tied to the ocean, and when we go back to the sea, whether it is to sail or to watch it, we are going back from whence we came. John F. Kennedy, 1962. It's a reminder that our fate is bound to the rhythms of the ocean, both for our past and our future. Let's talk about another trick the sea pulls off. It breathes in and out with the atmosphere. Oceans absorb about a quarter of the carbon dioxide humans put in the air each year. This carbon sink process helps slow down global warming, at least for now. The ocean's ability to dissolve and store carbon keeps some of our heat-trapping pollution out of the sky. Deep waters can hold on to this carbon for centuries, keeping it buried away from the atmosphere. But here's where reflection comes in. As more carbon dioxide enters the ocean, it not only helps limit atmospheric warming, but also makes the water itself more acidic. This process, called ocean acidification, poses challenges for coral reefs and shell-building creatures. In trying to protect the atmosphere, the ocean pays a price, illustrating just how interconnected our climate system really is. Next, there's the breathtaking power of evaporation. On any warm day, the sun's energy drives ocean water into vapor, lifting it high into the sky. This process is the foundation for rainfall across the planet, from tropical downpours to temperate drizzle. The water cycle, powered by the ocean, delivers fresh water to rivers, forests, and fields, supporting crops and communities worldwide. But evaporation also acts as a global air conditioner, When ocean water changes to vapor, it takes heat with it, cooling the surface and transferring that energy into the upper layers of the atmosphere. This dynamic is part of what shapes wind patterns and even the formation of storms. Without the ocean's evaporation engine, we would see vastly different, and possibly far harsher, weather across every continent. Another poetic line, this time from Shakespeare, captures the sea's transformation. The cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit, shall dissolve. The Tempest, Act 4, Scene Y. It's not just land and stone that dissolve. Everything on Earth is subject to change, shaped by forces like the ocean's cycles of evaporation and rain. Now, let's consider ocean currents on a global scale, what some call the global conveyor belt. At the surface, wind pulls water slowly across the oceans, setting up vast gyres and loops, such as the Gulf Stream in the North Atlantic. But the magic intensifies far beneath the waves. Cold, salty water becomes dense and sinks in polar regions, setting off a slow-motion current that can travel thousands of miles before resurfacing. This conveyor moves heat, nutrients, and gases around the world. Why is this so crucial? If this engine stalls or shifts its patterns, entire climates can shift. For example, Europe's relatively mild winters are powered in part by the Gulf Stream, carrying warmth from the tropics. If these currents were to slow or change, vast populations could find their weather becoming suddenly more extreme. Currents promise more than just temperate seasons. They're also the highways for nutrients. As water flows from the depths to the surface, a process called upwelling, it brings nutrients that feed plankton, which in turn supports entire food chains. This invisible circulation is vital, not just for ocean life, but for supporting fisheries and communities on land. Consider one more literary passage from a classic about the interconnectedness of nature. No man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Devotions upon emergent occasions, Meditation 17th. This phrase, though human-centered, resonates with the global web of processes that keep the climate in balance. Each part of Earth, ocean, air, land, life, acts as a piece within the greater whole. Change in one part sends ripples across the system. Ocean regulation isn't only about slow-moving processes. The sea can also unleash rapid changes, like El Niño. Every few years, a warming of ocean waters in the Pacific can disrupt weather worldwide, triggering floods, droughts, and shifts in marine life. These events are a vivid reminder that the ocean doesn't just regulate. Sometimes it destabilizes, recalibrates, and resets the climate system. Reflect for a moment on the scale of this. A patch of warm water thousands of kilometers away can alter crops in distant fields, amplify wildfire risks, or shift the timing of monsoons. The ocean's hand is present everywhere, even when we can't see it. It's no surprise that across philosophies and spiritual texts, the ocean stands as a metaphor for the unknown, for hidden strength, for balance amid turbulence. Time's river carries all away, yet the sea remains. Paraphrased from ancient philosophy, whatever happens in the climate system, the sea is there, carrying, absorbing, releasing, endlessly, cycling. But even this massive buffer has limits. As human-caused emissions rise and polar ice melts, fundamental ocean patterns like the conveyor belt may slow or alter, changing the way climate is regulated. Scientists have measured evidence of slowing currents and shifts in the timing and strength of key oceanic cycles. What's safe today could shift tomorrow. To sum up, the ocean regulates Earth's climate in at least 8 remarkable ways. 1. Storing and slowly releasing solar heat. moderating extreme temperatures. 2. Moving warmth from the equator to the poles, balancing regions. 3. Absorbing carbon dioxide, slowing the pace of atmospheric warming. 4. Fueling rainfall and the water cycle through evaporation. 5. Transporting nutrients and supporting life via deep upwelling. 6. Shaping wind and storm patterns thanks to surface heat exchange. 7. Providing a buffer against rapid, catastrophic temperature swings. 8. Occasionally resetting the climate through dramatic events like El Niño. Our climate, then, is not just written in the wind or forged by the sun, but buffered, directed, and, at times, rescued by the tireless ocean. Looking forward, recognizing these oceanic roles isn't just intellectually satisfying. It's essential for meeting the challenges ahead. If the ocean's regulation falters, the planet's stability can shift in ways that ripple into every aspect of our lives. The next time you look out over the sea, remember how deeply your climate, your weather, and even your future are bound to its restless movements. We are, in every way, creatures of the ocean. No matter how far from its shore we live,